Have you got any interesting, funny stories about Cash? Anything ever?
Well, only the time when he came up to my house, wobbling all over the road. Everybody was looking, you know, because in those days I was in a terraced house up in Haslingden, and it was summer, and everybody used to sit at the door at sunshine, you know.
Yeah.
And it was, I thought, Jesus, I saw him coming through the curtains. I thought, what's Cash Cooper? I thought, get him in quick.
I was going to ask you about Charlie Dick. Do you know much about him? Or?
Yeah, I knew Charlie well. I'd got all his war stories and all that, you know. Stopped at our house a couple of times when we had a convention in '85, I think it was.
Yeah. I met him there.
Yeah, he came down and stopped at our house, and he took a wobbler through the night, and he bang, bang, you know. And he used to get bad dreams about the war and things.
But he tattooed in one of the camps, didn't he?
Sorry?
I think he tattooed in one of the camps, didn't he? Or?
Yeah, he tattooed in one of the prisoner of war camps. That's why he taught himself to tattoo.
Yeah.
He was a good drawer, but he used to the bunks, and he used to get the top bunk and do all the tattooing.
Yeah.
And he was tattooing one day, and they used to use like a little top with a wick in for light. And there was that many trying to get on to watch the tattooing, and it snapped, and all the hot fat went all over his chest where he was getting tattooed, you know. And it's just one of his stories.
And arguably your best convention was Newcastle 1985, wasn't it? And you had the mayor there. How did that come about?
We went to the hotel. First thing I used to do when we done conventions, we get a list of hotels from a directory. There's a hotel directory, and you'd look at all the large rooms. So any hotel with a big room, you'd shortlist. And there was about two hotels in Newcastle. And when I went to visit the hotels, you look at the large room, count how many tables that go around the edges, count how many sockets on the wall. You can run one socket to two people working. If they got 10 sockets, you can have 20 tattooists, and that's the limit. And it just happened that hotel was the biggest one in the area and laid out properly, and they had tables and chairs. We didn't have to hire them in.
Now Art Cale was a proper old school tattooist. I was talking to a guy who's in his 70s, and he had a big Jesus on his chest, and I said, is that Art Cale's? He went, yeah, how do you know that? I said, I know the colour scheme. I said, I can usually pick out old school tattoos, but I wouldn't know modern ones because it's all the same flash. I said, so I do remember certain starts. So he said, well, what happened was, he said, I wanted a Jesus, and I tried to explain to Art Cale what I wanted. And I said, well, my friend's got it. He said, well, bring your friend down. He said, so my mate sat next to me with his chest open, showing the Jesus on his chest. He said, and he just looked at it. He said, he had to sit still. He said, he put one line down my chest and one across to get the balance. He said, and he just copied the tattoo as he did it.
Yeah.
He said, that is freehand.
I remember one time Dinky told me, he said, don't come in the shop next week for a tattoo because you won't be able to afford it. He said, because there's an American warship coming in.
Of course, everything goes up double.
So, it went up treble.
Yeah.
He tripled his prices because he said he was going to triple his price, and I didn't believe it. I thought, there's no way anyone's going to pay that. So I went in just to see, and his shop was full of American sailors. And he used to have, like a lot of people had back then, he used to have the board on the wall with A equals £5, CAB equals £7, and he made a new board, and they were all triple the price. But the funny thing was, all these American sailors, they wanted to buy everything. One of them offered him money for his dog. He had this Doberman Pinscher, and he was saying about buying his dog, but his friend said, oh, you'll never be able to get it back home. Another one wanted to buy his fireplace. He had like a Victorian fireplace in the shop. And they said, do you think we'll be able to knock that out and get that on the ship?